Okay, well, everything's gone pot now.
Welcome to Zero Hit Points, everybody, for the week September 30th. It's me, Ryan Miller, the Collector, along with the collected Matt Amberg.
Again, I love that you're choosing horror movies. We're going into Halloween, and I'm surprised you've heard of or seen either of those films.
Well, first, I don't know what you mean by again. This is the first time we've done this, number one. Also,
yes,
it's
I'm sorry. Yes, I apologize. It's all behind the scenes movie making here, folks.
Also, it's because I'm collecting shows at this point. I haven't even released... Okay, I've gotten the habit of trickling out book club for movies on Mondays lately for the week prior. I haven't even done Zero Hit Points yet. So we're recording at Zero Hit Points before the last Zero Hit Points has even come out. I'm collecting the shows.
I love it.
You're the collected.
Yeah, no, I can't wait. I'm going to collect some, and then we can do, it'll be trading cards.
Oh, you want some?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to. It's gonna be like Magic the Gathering. You know, it's gonna have each episode.
Little to no magic.
Yeah, and there will definitely be Zero Gathering
on Zero Hit Points, where we talk about video games, and you'll know what I'm gonna talk about right now. I actually gave a heads up this time.
You did. Talk all about it. This magical thing that you gave a heads up about. It's very good, and I remember it very well.
Do you remember I mentioned pinball real quickly?
I do remember that. Okay, now we're back on track. I was very excited to hear about this. You found...
And excuse me, I'm just going to go right into it because...
Do it.
We're late today. We were early last week. That doesn't matter to anybody after the fact because it's all the same. But I don't want to take up any more of your time.
We have Borderlands to play. So.
Oh, yes. Yes, we could be playing... Well, that's actually why some of the podcasts are a little bit... late.
Yeah, well, it's going to be late again. Because we don't really get time to play like this during the day. Yeah. So
there are times where I get home and I'm like, edit the podcast, play the Borderlands. Can't have the podcast without the Borderlands.
Yeah, they're the same thing.
So, this is about none of that. I got a bit of the pinball bug. And I don't know if there's a technical resurgence going on. I don't think those are technically declared before they happen, so that's not a correct statement in either way.
No, it's like bankruptcy. Somebody just screams it out. And
is that how that works?
Yeah, you go, I declare bankruptcy! Oh,
that's because you declare
I just did it. I just did it.
Oh, dang, you're right. All your debts were just forgiven right now.
That sucks, though, because now I can't do it again later when I need to.
Yeah, you got bad credit.
Yeah.
I don't know what your credit's like. I don't want to spread any false rumors.
No, definitely do
rumors.
that. Yeah, don't tell people I have bad credit knowingly.
So I did. I've kind of always had a passing interest, and someday, we've talked about it here and there.
Sure.
We know that my table is Jurassic Park somewhere around the 90s. That came out.
Yeah.
We know that your table is. Can't remember. I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter. They're all the same.
What kind of a friend doesn't remember his friend's pinball table?
It's fine.
Addams Family?
I do love the Addams Family. That's true. There was a Kiss pinball machine that was like when I was a kid. That's kind of my favorite thing in the world. But no, Addams Family is, definitely up there.
Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone's number one, man.
I'm trying to outguess you now. Did I get it, really?
Twilight Zone is the best.
Oh, you told me Kiss, and then I said Twilight Zone. Who was right, you or me?
No, that's what I'm saying. The Kiss pinball machine was my favorite.
Okay, so you were right.
But I only ever saw the Kiss pinball machine like once, and it was because we owned it.
Okay, so this is the qualifier here. This is how you know what your table is. You finally get the room to have a table, because that's oftentimes the big problem with pinball tables is they take up physical space.
Yeah, no, the one I would definitely choose is the Ghostbusters one.
Oh, really? Okay, so we're both wrong.
Yeah, I have to think about it also because I don't love pinball, though, the way I love, like, Miss Pac-Man. That's an immediate thing.
So you would get... Oh, that's right. You'd get your... You don't have your Miss Pac-Man cocktail table yet, do you?
Not yet. Someday.
No, okay, yeah. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah. But actually, it would be the Ghostbusters one. That's I don't know if it's an old one or if it's like brand new.
I don't actually know it. Yeah.
But it's really cool. It's got it's similar to the Kiss machine where it has multiple levels, and there's like a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and everything. But it's like on the table, like it's all 3-dimensional, like a model of it is in the table. It's cool.
So that's part of what fascinates me about pinball tables. Not only the game design and kind of that specific discipline, but just the fact that it does kind of take up that physical space. I know this is the novelty of a pinball table now, is what it's always been. It's real and you can touch it. Like, it's to the point where you find one in the world and it's an event. For me, anyways, in my city, I guess.
No, that's true. I don't see them hardly anywhere. I see.
Right, so
I definitely see stand-up arcades more than I see, stand-up cabinets than I ever see pinball machines.
I feel like you see one too, and you know that doesn't happen by. Well, I guess it probably does happen by accident in some places, especially around my small city. There's probably some guy that bought a place that had a pinball table in it, so he just kept it there.
Sure.
I feel like most of the time, though, people are like, I love pinball tables, or that would really make this place. Like, people are going out and finding these things. Like, these things aren't popping up on accidents. There's just like this instant connection with the table, with the establishment. Just, again, it's not what it used to be, but still, they occupy this space physically and mentally that it's really interesting to me. I do like it, even if I haven't participated as much as I wanted. So, just recently, I wanted to participate as much as I wanted. So,
all right, we're getting there.
We are getting there. Maybe not as much as I would have liked to get there, as always, with I feel like everything we talk about. But I did a few things. In fact, this kind of all started because we were out to eat at a place and we saw a table out in the wild. And my wife actually offered. She was like, I'll go on a pinball table hunt with you, like around town, which even though that's probably only 2 places that, like, she was basically like, I'll go to 2 places with you. So either way.
Take advantage while you can. Love is in the air.
Either way, we didn't go. Time did not allow. But what I did do is download a few apps, re-download a few apps actually also. And one of them, and I'll just take you through the series of events here. One of them was the Bethesda pinball app.
Sure.
You seen this?
No.
It's got a table for Skyrim, Fallout, and Doom.
Sure. Makes sense.
You open it up.
The games they've ever made.
And you see the Zen pinball logo. You're going to notice the theme here. And then the app crashes every single time.
Oh, cool.
So very on brand. I'm pretty sure I got the Bethesda pinball experience there.
Yeah. Pinball 76.
And then the other... It's an online world. The other thing, the other one I downloaded was the Williams pinball app. Williams, one of the classic creators of pinball tables out there, obviously.
Yeah.
Zen logo again.
Sure. They're the only company that exists.
And anytime I try to do anything beyond that I could get a little bit farther. Like, you could see the tables, and they are recreations of their classic tables for the most part. In fact, I don't think they have any new originals in there. I don't know, because anytime I try to download a table, it would say internal error, which I feel like is one of the worst errors. So
not better than an external error. I don't know, because then people see it.
Yeah, who knows? But I couldn't play any of those. So I moved on to the app that I did have at one point and was kind of my go-to for a little bit when I did try and get into this. And by the way, this is some on iPhone, some on iPad for the most part. I'm curious if some of these have translated to Apple TV or some sort of, since that's kind of like a console-ish thing with Apple Arcade now or whatever, and controller support and all that, whatever. Didn't do any of that. Pinball Arcade, if I have this correct, was kind of this catch-all repository for a lot of classic tables. Like, they've got Gottlieb in there. I think they had Williams at one point, but I think Williams pulled out to do their own thing.
Williams always pulling out. Which
is a bummer, because it has really left that app kind of bereft of... I mean, it's basically, I want to say, there's only 2 tables left in the app now. It's like Gottlieb and Stern tables, which, fine. I mean, you're going to get a lot of the ones you love out of that. They're all a la carte, though. Like, most of these, you're buying tables by themselves. You're paying for the tables. They work in the app. You piecemeal type thing, you know?
Sure.
With Stern, you got your Big Buck Hunter. In fact, you got Ghostbusters. I don't know if this is a table you were talking about, but...
No, it might be.
Last Action Hero.
Sure.
Star Trek. Ripley's Believe It or Not. I feel like I've seen one of those in the wild at some point.
Potentially.
And Gottlieb, you get your Haunted House. Rescue 911 was apparently a table I'd love to find at some point. So that's fine. It's not a total lost cause. And also, maybe the best thing about it is you boot it up and it's plain Pinball Wizard in the menus, but not like a really good version of it. And This was weird at first. It was like this super scratchy, like incredibly lo-fi version. And I'm like, what is going on? You're like, why would anybody do this? And I don't know, like, this is my headcanon now for it. Maybe they were like, oh, this is what it would sound like from a pinball table from the 70s.
Sure.
I don't know. If they've thought that much about it, kudos to them. Either way. The physics are good. I think it's a good app. I wish it was what it was before, or what it was trying to be, or whatever, where it kind of everybody came there for faithful recreations. You know, it was more about archiving than even it seemed to making money at some point. I don't know. This might all be in my head, but it's definitely better than the Williams app. So whatever. Then there were no other options left except the app that is on all of these other apps, you know, that apparently this is the company they're going to make these things, which is Zen Pinball, which I believe is the same as Pinball FX.
Yeah, they own it.
Okay, yeah. And they're the ones I feel like you hear about most often. They've got all the licenses, they've got all the comics, they've got all the movies, they've got all the this and the that. And I'm tempted by a bunch. The tables are only $2. It's not that bad, really. I only had time. I bought one and then only dug into one for a bit. I'll probably get some more still. But the only one I bought and played was Portal, the Portal table.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, it's based on the property that Bridge Constructor game was based on.
Oh.
You know, this is how people are going to talk eventually about Portal, since they won't make any actual games of it anymore.
Jeez, man.
And sure enough, like Zen Pinball is, I feel like, the app. Like, I feel like that's where you're going to go. I feel like there's a reason why they're pretty much the only game in town now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's good. They're fine and they're fun. And I think what they excel at, what I found, especially with that Portal table, since it's the only one I played, is that they do kind of take... Actually, that's not true. I played the 360 Pinball FX.
Yeah. Yeah. I've played the... I actually just played the back port of it or whatever for Xbox One recently.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that to pick up like one achievement that I still could because the DLC is not available anymore, I don't think. But... and then there's an Xbox One version. There's way more updated ones. In fact, I was searching real hard to see if I bought something on iOS, if that would cross over to Xbox, but I don't think it does. I don't think they've gotten that fancy with it just yet.
They need to move.
It would be nice. That it would probably get me to play on the Xbox One. But the iOS ones are cool. You know, I would still go iPad. You know, the playing with fingers on the iPhone is kind of like, it works, but it's not ideal.
No, it just seems awful, honestly, unless you've got unless you've got that iPhone that's the same size as an iPad.
Right. Oh, a phablet.
Yes.
You said.
That's I just reach through the screen and throttle you.
The Portal table is really good. I think where they are excelling is that they are moving pinball to really kind of this digital space. I do enjoy the faithful recreations, and in fact I would pay upwards of, you know, real game prices here, $60 or something for a faithful recreation of that Jurassic Park game. They have some Jurassic Park tables and a Jurassic World table or two, but none of them are that actual table.
Wow.
Yeah, thanks, Owen Wilson. But
oh wow,
they've moved pinball into a space where
awful.
It's not necessarily trying to get money from you in that way anymore, right? Because that's both the draw and the downside of all these faithful recreations is that they are, you know, they're there to make money. They're like the old beat 'em up cabinets or whatever. They're just there so you pump quarters into them, right?
I've got to wonder if that's one of those things that is, and I mean, you know, everything being relative, if it's like, if they were able to build it once, kind of perfect what they wanted to, and then just have that be the framework and go, okay, now it's just drawing the top parts. Go. So it's just like they've already got all the under the hood stuff, and they're just putting modules on top of it. It would not surprise me. They're like, here you go, here's all your information for the ball physics.
Especially around that time period, right? Like 70s, 80s, who knows? Yeah, I'm sure there were some cash-ins and some less designed tables than others, but for the most part, nowadays you could probably look at one of those, number one, not be able to tell, but also number two, be like, this is still really cool. You know, it still looks like a pinball table, like somebody had an idea, and you're probably not going to know one from the next to be like, this is a lot like the Ghostbusters table, but just with a different skin on it.
Well,
you know,
I mean, but it's, you know, I'm talking, I mean, you've already created all the physics for it. You've already created the.
Oh, you're talking about straight up digitally.
Yeah. Like of course it's not going to be that way, and like I'm sure to some extent that actually is the way it's done there too, but in terms of digital, yeah, I mean like there's got to be something relatively easy for Zen Pinball to be able to go, all right, we can pump out 100 of these things in, you know, 3 months.
Well, there definitely is a physics engine, I'll give you that, but I haven't played enough to tell you definitively, but I would bet that's not necessarily the case. Some of the tables,
every Pinball FX table I've played You don't play it because they play different. You play it because of the table, right? The tables are all like
I don't know. That's the thing.
Well, they are. They're all, but a table is a table is a table. The things with the tables, sure, I guess there's going to be some physics to the table itself, but those are not usually built on anything like slope wise. That's usually all built around the bumpers themselves. So, and that's like tuning the bumpers. I don't know.
All right. I am going to take your challenge where I buy more than one table and play them separately and see if they hold up to design and
definitely what I was saying for you to do.
I was going to do that. I just don't do my job thoroughly. So this is part 1. But I'll do I want to get so all those ones I already mentioned are also in the Zen Pinball app. So I probably will get the Doom table. Looks really cool. Some of the movies they have a Back to the Future table. Maybe I will get the Jurassic Park table. I don't know. Again, they're only $2, so I'm kind of
sure. You should check to see if there's a Creature from the Black Lagoon table. There's a cool one over at our one of the breweries here. It's actually where the Ghostbusters one is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've got I don't know, 10, 12 machines there. Some super old ones. Most of them are kind of relatively new. But they have the Addams Family, and they've got Ghostbusters, and they've got a Creature from the Black Lagoon. That's pretty fun.
Yep. At one point, we ended up at the only arcade that kind of still exists, and it's one tiny room. Like my garage is bigger.
Wow. Yeah, that's small.
And there's a limited number of cabinets. Most of them are racing games. Like there's Tokyo Drift in there, some Cruisin' USA, I think maybe. But there is one pinball table, and it's Funhouse, which isn't it's fairly well known. I feel like it
is. Yeah.
And it looks like it's in gorgeous condition. I took some pictures, but I got called into work like literally right as we were looking to get changed to play the thing. So
yeah, I'll have to get pictures for you of the ones at the brewery.
I'll make this part 1. I don't know when part 2 will come, but I'll get back to play those tables with an actual eye to something.
Well, that's good.
For now, Zen Pinball, very cool. Not my favorite pinball that I played. This kind of all culminated in a game that I got, I think last year. I think this was big last year, that I've been dying to play, and this was kind of almost my excuse to finally play it. I'm like, okay, I want to get into it. Like Red Dead's great, taking up all my time. Even I've dropped that since now it's Wolfenstein and all these other whatevers. Yoku's Island Express.
Okay.
If you heard about it, I don't remember.
Nope.
From last year.
Nope. Not even gonna pretend like I heard about this.
It's a pinball platformer, essentially, is what it is.
Everything you've just said to me, I hate.
It's that elevator pitch gets me like at the go.
That's kind of
actually
funny. All right.
Just something about that idea, right? Like pinball broken out into like a Mario type world or something like that. Sounds great. Like the whole thing's a table, and that's what this thing does. Like you can back out, you can see the entire map, and each map kind of has different worlds to it, even though it's all one map, you're in all one world. I haven't gotten out of that yet, but I would guess you probably don't. I don't think this is a very long game.
So they're like different continents instead of worlds, would you say?
They're not separated by water, but sure.
Okay.
So it introduces it's traditional pinball mechanics, except you're traveling around the world. You are Yoku, attached to a rock that is your pinball. So you get to move that rock around a little bit when you're kind of platforming or moving from space to space. There is some more traditional platforming, except I don't think you can jump. I cannot jump yet at this juncture. So you move from puzzle to puzzle, and it's having you do things off of the bumpers to collect currency that you can then spend to unlock more flippers that get you to different parts of the world, essentially. And it's all done. Why was that funny?
Unlock your flipper is just really funny to me.
It's weird, right? Yeah, no.
It sounds like either an insult or a like a self-help thing. Unlock your flipper.
No, it's a microtransaction, just 99 cents. You can unlock a flipper.
Ugh.
It's great. No, that's not what it is.
Hey, buddy, go unlock your flipper, all right?
But it's surprising still how well it works. Like, yes, the idea got me right away, but there was still a chance, kind of like, and I haven't talked about this recently, but Cadence of Hyrule. Like, I still really love that, and I love the idea, and I think I've got the idea, but there was kind of a next level to it that I feel like I didn't reach. This definitely gets there. It's like I hear the idea, I play the game, and I'm like, oh, this is exactly what I want it to be and more. Like it's done really well.
Sure.
Part of that is the actual environment. Like it's done kind of Banjo-Kazooie like, you know, or maybe I just say ukulele because it's more recent.
Just say Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah.
You know, it's got
fine.
that kind of animal speech and you're talking to each other in different dialects and stuff like that. And it's real cutesy. And the freaking soundtrack is, if it's not Grant Kirkhope, it's his greatest fan or something, you know, like just really, really well done, really well executed. And so far super fun. Like I'm way into that game.
Nice. That's awesome.
But that's part one of Ryan's Pinball Express so far.
The Pinball Express is leaving the station.
Is it? Where's it going? Where are you going?
I don't know. You should be on board, buddy. It's your train.
See, I feel like it leaves the station when I begin, and now it's arrived at the station, and the trip's over?
Because you just like gave the like you're the conductor giving the speech, and now you're like everybody's boarded, and you're like we're going.
I do have a stripy hat on right now.
Yeah, and so when you're throwing coal into a
throwing coal,
throw it, yeah, fire up the train.
Did you have any games to talk about? I feel like you're stalling.
No, I don't have to go to the restroom.
3:45. Thanks for asking.
Oh, I got a thing.
That's all I got.
Yeah, no, Borderlands, and we're not
less than all I got.
We're not going to talk about that right now. Oh, actually, you know what? There's one thing I'm going to say. This just makes me angry because
I'm waiting for. I played a bunch of pinball, so me and my wife. That's mine. You can't do that.
My favorite part about this is that you went through this like directly after I did. Here's something I hate about Borderlands. Actually, she does have a segment called "Here's Something I Hate."
We should check in with Borderlands. No, that's fine.
Yeah, here's something I hate.
What do you hate, Matt?
I hate games that force you to watch cutscenes when you've already seen them. That's right. I hate that. Gearbox. It's super annoying, man. Start the character. You start a new character, and you can't skip the freaking...
Yeah, okay, I just remember what you're talking about.
You can't skip the whole 35-minute opening cutscene, and then you get stuck watching the rest of the cutscenes. It's like, let me skip cutscenes. Never not give me the option.
Yeah, I was like, why? Because it knows I've already seen this at some point. Why can't I just skip it? And you're like, why does that matter?
Yeah.
Just make it skippable, period.
Always. Who cares? Some people don't care about the story. They want to blow things up. They don't care about anything to do with Marcus and his stupid, everybody is a Vault Hunter. Ha ha ha. Come on. I will show you.
Excellent impression, by the way. We have cooled on Marcus a great deal, it seems like.
I do not.
Or cooled, or never liked.
I don't think I ever liked him.
Which was it?
Either.
Okay.
Yeah, he was not a character I cared about.
Unlike the other characters you care about in that game so far.
I like. I'm actually starting to come around though on the other guy that I'm playing now.
Oh, so yeah, when we first chose our characters, there was I guess is he a technologist? I forget his actual class name.
No,
he's the guy. He's the assault rifle guy. He's the assault rifle class in every single game that you have to have because most people are going to choose him. And me and you, in choosing our characters, looked at him. And we're like, oh, there's the guy that you always choose. And I'm like, oh, I'll choose a different guy. And since everything I hear about him, I'm like, oh, that sounds really cool.
Right? Yeah. And so it's so funny because you and I clearly had that like same thing because I totally sat down and I was waiting for, I think Sean, maybe you, I don't know.
Oh, Slipside. It does the music for the show. Incredible human being.
Yeah.
That Sean?
Yes, okay. Correct. That's Sean. Nice plug-in, man.
Sliptide.com.
Good looking out.
We don't mention him enough.
At Sliptide on Twitter. Great. He was waiting for him, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna roll a new character. So I rolled that guy, and I like, he's super fun, man. I like the voice actor for him. I like his weird little power that so far is just, it's a hologram that actually causes damage.
Okay, so that's his ult. Like, because he has so many, I feel like, secondary abilities, or like things are flying off him and drones and whatever. I don't know what his actual ult is.
Those are all like different ults. The drones are a different ult. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So I'm going with the the hologram, because I think it gets a little more active the farther up you get, and I love the idea of having a ridiculous another version of me running around.
Sure. No. Just in general.
Yeah, I know. I think about cloning. I think about so many weird things, like what would happen if, or what would I do with, when I die, will I know that I'm dead? Like, will I just like, do we share I don't know. So many questions that I have.
So many. I rolled a Zane as well, but I haven't played him much, so I can't even really comment. Insane the amount of new characters we've created for Borderlands 3.
Insane. Yeah, the funny thing is I actually am considering just rolling the other characters now just to get their freaking game started so I don't have to watch the intro next time.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Like, well, maybe try this then next time we play, because there is a start new character at that screen. If you start new game, yeah, you're watching that cutscene again. But if you're joining my game, instead of choosing whatever character you choose, just hit new, and I would imagine you skip that.
Yeah, I would imagine so as well. I don't know because I don't know. I guess it would. We can try it.
Okay, all right. Sounds like a plan.
Experiments are fun.
Yeah, it's just if you want. I
want, because if it works that way, then that's fantastic. Well, you're older than me, so basically you're my dad.
Am I? I forget every time.
Yeah,
I should be. If I'm not, I take it back.
That's all I've got. What's cracking now? We've spent a lot of time on.
What is cracking? Oh, you mean, did you hear about this? I don't know. I didn't pull anything. I literally have
perfect
Polygon up here if you want some headlines.
Polygon for the day.
We could be.
No, yeah, let's cut it here. You've got lots of stuff to edit already, and it's
true. You always thinking of me.
Yeah, there's also just not a lot this week.
No, honestly, there is, and in looking at Polygon, there's new Frozen 2 special look gives a sneak peek of Elsa's new Let It Go.
Yeah, I think the biggest news that came out here was new map and character unlock for Apex Legends.
Oh, sure.
People are very excited about that. I'm actually thinking I'm going to play with some friends here sometime soon. Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe my top game I wish I was playing all the time and never do.
Sure, we could do that too if you really want to. I mean.
No. If you're playing, send me a message. I always love to not be able to.
Sure.
But at least I know.
No, I get it. That's why I want you. Like, yeah, I'm not going to play games with you at midnight your time.
But when I fire it up.
But text me anyway so that I can go, oh man, if you had told me at another time.
Yep.
There's that, and there was one other thing, but I don't think it's important or interesting, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, you mean the Destiny 2 news? Yeah, we can
That's
skip
it. That. It was Destiny 2, which I hate this. You know what I hate is that I'm
Was it really? I was just messing with you.
No, it is.
Wow.
They're releasing their next big DLC or whatever, and
Shadowkeep.
And in every respect, apparently, like, that game has done everything that I wanted the first one to do. Now it's doing in spades. And I'm really, really annoyed by it.
I don't believe it for a second.
The nice thing about it, though, is if I do decide I want to play through that story, I already own it for free because they gave it away on on the Epic Game Store 100 years ago.
I have it on PS4 somehow.
Yeah, so we can't cross-play it, but who cares?
I think we can now, can't we?
No, we can cross-save. Can't cross-play it.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
All right, good. Hey, podcast at 0HITPOINTS.com is somewhere you can send emails to, and if you do, we'll see them, we'll respond to them, we'll talk about it on the air, and we will possibly make fun of you. You know why? Because you're sending us an email, and you're sending us an email to either complain or to give us some quote-unquote suggestions. And if you're giving us quote-unquote suggestions, well, we appreciate those, and we'll take them under advisement. Thank you for those. If you're calling in and letting us know that we did something wrong, okay, fine. We'll talk about that. We might put your name on the air. We might put all the information we have on this podcast, and we might send it out to anybody we know.
I was going to say, speaking of which, but I don't want our emailer here to think and some or any of that applies to him. I don't know. We did receive an email from a person I'm related to. His name is Aiden. Shout out to Aiden. What's so funny?
Hi, Aiden.
And Aiden needs to know that you are not, in fact, his Uncle Matt. Well, I guess you are. You're everybody's Uncle Matt, technically.
Don't. Yikes.
But I also have a brother named Matt that you are not most of the time.
I mean, not in a blood related way.
No, but it's just in
like a boyfriend kind of way.
Yeah, thank you. So there's that. Also, his request was a very kind and doable request that we play some games he's interested in and talk about some games.
That's doable for one of us.
Very doable. I don't know if we're going to do it, but it's doable.
Oh, yeah. No, 100% plausible. It could happen.
He requested some Forza games. I think it was either 6, which I think I might have got with Games with Gold, so I might own that, or Forza Horizon 4, which I do with Game Pass. So, again, very possible, very apologetically might not going to happen.
No, I can be honest with you. The odds of me playing a Forza game again is... Well, it's going to be a long, long time. However, there are many podcasts back in the catalog where we just going to say that. Talk about Forza Horizon. What was it? 3. Yeah, which was pretty good right up until
we played a lot of that.
Freaking Hot Wheels thing was just like so disappointing.
And the DLC.
So disappointing, that Hot Wheels DLC.
Go check out the back catalog. We're in there talking about Forza just a whole bunch.
Yeah.
There's got to be quite a few because we do that with any game, but also we came back to it for that DLC here and there.
We did.
And that's actually part of why Forza Horizon 4 might not happen is because it's, by all accounts, very similar and kind of we had our fill for a little bit here.
Yeah, and you know the reality is when it comes to racing games, like I'm not a car person, so like a lot of that like tuning stuff that really is like the depth of those games is completely lost on me. And because
we never
of that,
dip into that really.
While I really enjoy the cars and I loved having my pink Jeep that just rocked every race.
Barbie Jeep. Mm-hmm.
That Jeep was rad. Sorry. What?
It just brings so many images to mind because I don't know if you ever had 100% control of that thing.
Oh no, not at any point.
So it was just like it would come just out of the blue, like it would be winning somehow and definitely passing me and or screwing up a number of cars along the way. But it was just like a.
It was great. I love that thing, man. That thing, no control whatsoever. And man, I could get in real true Jeep fashion. I even told you this. One little clip to the back, and I'm just sailing at that point. Like I've got I'm flipping in the wind.
You were the pink Jeep.
I was always the pink Jeep, yeah. But the other thing with Forza that it doesn't have that kind of goes against it for me is that, and this is completely not its fault, but it is because it's not Burnout. So I'm not crashing, like really crashing and causing crashes and getting points for that. And, you know, all Forza has to do is put in realistic crash physics and I'm in. But they never will because the car companies don't ever want their cars to look like they can be damaged.
Which is weird, but... Actually, did early Burnout games have... No, the Burnout games have never had car brands, have they?
I think they may have gotten one once. There was like a Ferrari thing or a Mustang thing. But I know that in any other case, like in Need for Speed, there was a big deal about the cars getting damaged.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a bunch of Burnout shows too. You can go back. And number one, play Burnout.
Yeah, it's super great.
That's what we want to do.
Yeah. Like when it comes to racing games, I want to play Burnout, and I'll be honest, I kind of want to go play that right now.
I'm just talking about it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
In fact, there's the company 2 Fields, 3 Fields. The guys, remember they did Danger Zone? We talked about that. We like that a little bit.
Danger Zone.
The guys that made Burnout originally, some of them came together to do some of that. They actually have a full-fledged, maybe they were kind of going in steps, like Danger Zone was just the crash mode. Then I want to say they did another one, Dangerous Driving might have been, was just the driving or something. I don't know. Yeah, but they've done like a more full-featured Burnout clone since that I haven't even tried.
Cool.
Yeah, so there's that. Look at that. Longest outro in podcast history, everybody. This is all part of it.
Bye!